what I'm wondering is we have truth on our side, right? And I think most people recognize that. Even reactionaries, they're trying to change how to define truth because they know that like stats, statistics, papers, events, descriptions of history, all of that's on our side. So you have to sort of change what the truth means and you have to build narratives. And
Mhm.
there's something about being a reactionary that like you say you hear something, you create that narrative in your head right away, you say it and everybody around you starts saying it immediately.
Mhm.
There's almost like no need for like a central message discipline because the gut feeling of hearing something that's common sense, it's enough for them to be able to perpetuate like a really like hyper political talking points, even like down to like Haitians are eating pets, such a
They're
specific
eating the
like
cats. They're eating the.
yeah. And that was something that started from neo-Nazis in Idaho up to the president back down, and not based in any truth. So how can we, and I know we could build so much more effective narratives than them because truth is on our side, but how do we do that? How do we break into these more emotional spaces where you can't come into it with facts? Otherwise, that is a mark against you, and you have to come into it with a emotional like position initially.
Right. It is difficult because, and I've said this 1,000 times, but reality tastes like shit, and bullshit is delicious. I read fictional books because they're fun. I don't read nonfiction books. Blah, it's boring. Reality tastes like shit.
Bummer.
There aren't any lightsabers in reality. There aren't any flying broomsticks or explosions or magic duels in
Good people
reality.
winning at the end because the bad guys got
Yeah,
defeated.
yeah, bad guys getting defeated. That's a fiction, and it tastes good. But reality tastes bad. You almost have to be a masochist to be a realist. Those two things have to go together. You can't be a realist who's an optimist. I don't think you can. You'll go crazy. You won't last very long. You'll abandon the realism
Love
for
optimism.
pleasant, for the pleasant embrace of lies. And and that's the difficulty is that you have to almost have. I honestly kind of think America needs a president and a prime minister. Um, the president tells the people what they want to hear. They talk about America being number one. They listen to the Lee Greenwood song. They sing along with it. And the prime minister is a very, very quiet little guy who sits in the back, counts all the beans, puts everything in a row, writes all the things, double checks that everything is working properly, and isn't all that important, and doesn't come out on TV telling you what's real and what's not. Um, it's a difficult thing to balance. Uh, so what we have to do is try to convince people to move left, and we can't do that if they don't like the words. So that's the difficulty is that we can't use the language that Marx gave us. You don't want to even use the word Marx because all of a sudden now you are a Marxist, you're a bad guy, you're a monster,
You
you're a
caused
communist.
like 6 million starvations in the USSR.
Don't you know that? Yeah, Marx did that himself. Uh, so you can't use the terms bourgeoisie or proletariat or means of production or Marxism. You can't use those. Don't
Or
say
even
those
fucking, you can't
words.
even say racist anymore without someone
You can't even
jumping
say
down your
racist
throat.
anymore. You can't. I call people a Nazi. I get in trouble. They're all like, "Yeah, you call everybody a Nazi." Well, only the Nazis. You can't use those words. You're scaring the hose. You're chasing off the normies. You can't do that. So what you have to do is hopefully convince people of their material conditions. Watch the farmers who are going to be going out of business in the next couple of months. I put out a video not too long ago about the farmers and how they're not selling any soybeans. China used to buy $14 billion worth of soybeans from us. They did, and they stopped because Donald Trump started a trade war with them. And the American people are going to pay taxes that will fill the subsidies that we give to these farmers that won't get them through, and they will probably have to sell all their land. The family farmers are going to sell their land to a company that can weather the storm, and we're going to give them some handouts, and then they're going to starve.
Yeah.
And then they're going to have to go find a new job. And if you can put together that story, that's a narrative, that's a story that you can that people can wrap their heads around. We all recognize farmers, even though the individual farmers are not quite the giant thing that they used to be. It's all giant agricultural companies now. Those individual family-owned farms are few and far between, and they are going to sell their stuff to those giant mega corporations. And those giant mega corporations are going to do whatever's best for their bottom line. Not what's best for you, not what's best for the country or the people or the feeding the human beings. They're going to do what's best for their dollars. And we need to, create a narrative of Donald Trump caused this problem. His unnecessary, incorrect trade war caused these people to lose their land. And Donnie took their jobs.
Right. I mean, even the groceries thing, it gets under people's skin, I noticed. So like I think it's good to be hitting stuff like that.
And it's just that the Dems suck at it, because when did they start complaining about groceries? Like February. The election was in November.
Yeah.
But because the Dems don't want to be reactionary, what they do, they hire consultants. Those consultants go online, they figure out what the people are complaining about, they put together a focus group, they put together a study, they look at the numbers, they double check the messaging, they write the new messaging, they double check the messaging with their superiors, then they give it to Chuck Schumer, who 3 months later complains about groceries.
Right.
4 months from now, I mean, he's going to complain about Charlie Kirk. Like, he really is.
He's going to be like, they're cracking down on freedom of speech after fucking New Year's.
Yeah, because he has to go through all these steps before he says a thing, because he can't be factually incorrect. Because if a Democrat is factually incorrect, it ruins their entire career. And I don't comprehend that. I'm not entirely sure how that happened, how we got to this point where a Democrat can get a stat wrong and they'll lose their career. They'll never get voted for again. And Donald Trump can just lie to you about actual things on the screen.
There was an article by, like, I think CNN, after Kamala Harris said that Trump would send federal troops to states, which turned out to be true, but because it was prediction, CNN called it a lie. And that actually became a point against her during the presidential election.
Yeah, she made a prediction about the future, and it turned out to be correct, but at the time we didn't know. So she's lying, saying that Donnie would do the thing when he promised that he would. So it's not easy because the media is so trapped by capitalism. And that's an entire different thing that I could scream about for hours. Is there are only, and I'll give you the real quick version of it. There are only two powers: capitalism and community. That's it. There is no third option that I can find. If I want to move this couch, I have two options. Capital, I pay someone to come do it. I pay a moving company to come over here, pick up the couch, carry it for me. Or community. I call my Discord friends, I call my friends from work, and we pick it up and we put it into a truck and we take it to where it needs to go. And then next time one of them needs a thing moved or one of them needs a ride to the airport, I do that for them. That's it. Right. And the government is just a larger version of the community, of the people, for the people, by the people. So we have too much capitalist power right now. Even everyone in Congress who's supposed to work for the community is working for their own stock portfolio. They're working for their own benefit, for their own dollars. They're trading, insider trading, so that they can make more money, so that they can retire and be a consultant again and make lots and lots of money and sell books. So we don't have enough community power. We don't have enough community. Those are the only two powers. I can't think of a third one. If you can think of a third one, I'll listen to it. But it always comes back to those two: capital or community. And And so we have to convince people that the community is a good thing, that your mayor, the mayor of your town, should do things, and we should expect the government to do things. We all expect the government to pave the roads. We don't do, and because there's no profit in it, and that's a problem. The community stuff doesn't have a profit motive, and the only things that get done in America are things that are profitable. So our roads are falling apart. Why? Because it's not profitable to fix them. Our bridges are falling apart. Why? Because it's not profitable to fix them. And it gets back to this messaging as well. Why isn't CNN telling you the truth? Because it's not profitable for them to do so.
Right. Yeah, I think that's a good point. Moving towards more rhetoric that implicates the people we're arguing with as part of the community and as fellow community members. I think a lot of these people do forget that they are surrounded by people who are unlike them. And it's really funny because we get accused of that a lot. Even with this whole Charlie Kirk thing, the left has been accused endlessly of not being the people who choose dialogue. But everybody's creating a pretty false memory there, because I don't recall a specific point in time ever where conservative was open to ideas. It's like part of their thing.
Right. Leftists never shut up. What's that joke about the leftist meme? The kid asks how much should a coat cost, and then you got Karl Marx giving you a 9-page dissertation about a yard of linen. Leftists never shut the fuck up. Then we talk way too much.
But they're also we're always searching to compromise, and
right.
I think that the pulling these people who are ostensibly on the other side and like pulling them into our community mindset is very valuable. I agree with that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that's the way the government works. That's how unions work. Unions are just a community. They're a little government. Unions have a constituency, which is the people who work at that company. They pay dues like taxes. They have a treasurer, just like our government. They have a vice president. They have a president of the union. I think the decrease in union membership to make more money for the capitalist has removed our idea of a community. And now everybody's just an individual. You don't know your neighbors. You don't know who they are. You don't talk to them. They don't work at the same place you do, because you have to travel 2 hours to get to your job, and they have to travel 2 hours to get to their job. Nobody works where they live. Nobody lives where they work. Community has been ruined by capitalism.
This is Waldo. Waldo is a political analyst on YouTube, a fellow political analyst. And here, do your thing.
Oh, hi. How you doing? Yes. My name is Waldo, and I'm here to feel the politics with you. I stream Wednesday nights and Saturday mornings. If you go to YouTube, you look up Waldo and politics, you'll find me.